Good Monday. This is Jay Brew, co-chairman of Seafried and Brew. As a community bank director, when I hear the word technology, I run for the hills in terms of, well, what should we be concentrating on? What are our risks and everything else? But we have a strategic alliance with Sawyers and Jacobs. And with Jimmy Sawyer sending over, which we included as a link here, the top 10 trends impacting bank technology for 2014. And I want to run through those top 10 trends and with counter questions that are included in this article, because I think it's imperative that we are on the cutting edge in terms of different things happening around banking to build better technology type relationships. And we've certainly been impressed by our friends at Sawyers and Jacobs in terms of what they do to help community banks in this area. So prediction number one, debit makes a comeback. So thinking about that, the challenge question would be, is your bank getting the most value in terms of interchange income and processing expense from its debit card provider? Very important. Once again, when we look at our strategic net overhead objective that we talked about in the beginning of this year, this would be one area in terms of debit that would make a lot of sense to really evaluate. Then, bankers demand relief from third-party security breaches, stricter oversight of retailers, and better risk mitigation methods. As a director, this immediately caught my attention. So the challenge question would be, is your bank and its customers experiencing card reissue fatigue, and do you plan to evaluate new card security methods? So when we think about that how do we build out of those type of situations better relationships with our clients, where this could be counterintuitive in the way that we think about those kind of situations. Prediction number three, mobile banking gets more mobile. Challenge question, does your bank's mobile strategy extend past the smartphone screen? So once again, we need to think ahead, we need to think in the future in terms of how will our customers basically contact us, get information from us, and once again to use that to build deeper relationships. Prediction four, Apple falters and Microsoft surges while new devices emerge. Challenge question, do your bank's mobile banking services work well on newer, rapidly evolving devices? Because I'm all for getting the most recent devices, the faster, the better. And what the challenge has been is for many of the applications to then work on these new devices. So once again, we want to be thinking strategically in the future of how we place ourselves within the newer, faster, more efficient devices. Prediction number five, the mobile workforce gets the tools they need to succeed. Challenge question, can your bank's employees video call their grandmas in their senior village communities but not their colleagues at work? Once again, we're thinking strategically about technology and how it affects us and what we're able to provide not only externally but also internally. Prediction number six, bill pay enjoys a resurgence due to the mobile channel. Challenge question, did your bank give up on marketing bill pay years ago, or does your bank have a plan to seize the new bill pay opportunity? I always love these type of things when you go back and revisit something that's very much part of your bank. Something that everybody, the management team, the board takes for granted that you offer this, but the question is how many of your customers are actually using this service? Can you renew, which builds closer customer relationships with people in this area? Because once again, if they're using bill pay, it's most likely that customer becomes almost a permanent customer, just because of having the ability to have to move to another bank becomes very difficult, especially when all of those bill pays are set up. Prediction number 7, bankers get helpful via the online customer concierge. Challenge question, does your bank work with customers on their schedule or the bank's schedule? Once again, this is an issue because when we look at it and you look at how online retailers work, is that they try to develop that overall customer experience. Prediction number 8, risk management requires a more sophisticated approach. And this is where we've had our strategic alliance with Sawyer and Jacobs. That when we look at enterprise risk management, that we work with them on that. A question would be, has your bank reviewed its risk management efforts in a holistic manner to encompass the enterprise? And many remember from my webcast last year talking about Jimmy Sawyer's philosophy joined with Seafried and Brew in developing a very efficient enterprise risk management system for community banks. And we've put this together once again with the word efficient, but also meeting what we think that directors, management team need to develop that holistic approach. Prediction number 9, bankers co-source and adapt to new compliance requirements. Challenge question, is your bank cursing the darkness of compliance requirements or lighting a candle and adapting to a changing environment? How we handle compliance going forward is very, very, very big strategic issue because compliance, as we know, will only become more complex. And how we adapt as community banks to this is very, very important. Prediction number 10, next generation ATMs become viable alternatives to traditional branches. Challenge question, are next generation ATMs part of your bank's strategic technology plan? So when we look at these top 10, and we thank Jimmy Sawyer at Sawyer and Jacobs for providing these to us, that we think about different ways strategically to move technology forward in our banks to reduce risk and increase customer relationships. The last thing I wanted to talk about is that Seafried and Brew is coming out with a community bank sentiment index. What we're looking at is asking you, the community banks across the country, the viewers that watch these webcasts, to give us some feedback in terms of what is happening at your bank. How do the loan pipelines look, deposits, etc., so that we can come back to all the community bankers to show trends in what is happening in the community banking industry. This is Jay Brew, co-chairman of Seafried and Brew. Have a great week.